Hey, it's Ace, welcome back to another Battlefield 6 video. The California Resistance update is now live on the game, and with it came a bunch of fixes. Many important things were addressed, such as the Super Mario bug, even more dispersion nerfs, and so much more in today's video. If you're still playing Battlefield 6 and you want to support a smaller creator, then likes and subscriptions are appreciated. Now let's jump right into it. Something which was not in the patch notes but was addressed by Drunks is that the Super Mario jump has finally been fixed on the live client. This was a bug which was plaguing Battlefield 6 as far as I know since the open beta. Basically what would happen is if you would touch so much as a pebble on the ground, your character would just launch into stratosphere and getting you killed in many situations. This is now allegedly fixed, so you do have that to look forward to when you come home from work and try the game out. Another thing which I'm very happy that he confirmed is that the mouse ADS resistance recoil is being addressed. It isn't in the live update now, but it is being addressed. If you aren't aware what this is, because I know a lot of people don't know what this is basically a new mechanic that they intentionally introduced in Battlefield 6. What is happening here with this mechanic is that basically if you take any weapon which has horizontal recoil, let's say the cord which pulls up and right, and that means you have to pull down left, when you would actually do this, your mouse would kind of slow down when you're pushing against the recoil. And if you wouldn't push against the recoil, then your mouse would accelerate. This is what caused a lot of aiming issues in Battlefield 6 and why everybody kept saying that aim just doesn't feel quite right in this game, that something is off with it. Well, this was the problem, so they're addressing this, which I'm very happy about. It's most likely gonna be live in December with the phase 3 of season 1. It is just so nice to have a confirmation from him. Moving on to the actual patch notes now, they're reverting the aim assist back to the open beta settings. They're saying after reviewing player feedback and gameplay data, Battlefield Studios is reverting aim assist back to the values some of you experienced during the open beta and Battlefield Labs even. This will now serve as the default while still providing you with the ability to alter the aim assist to your preference and playstyle via settings. This change keeps aim assist slowed and consistent across all ranges, helping with muscle memory and providing a steadier, more reliable feel as we move into future seasons. The recoil reduction you have with the controller hasn't been removed yet as well, so this is also still in play. So if you do play on the roller, let me know down in the comment section how does it feel now after these changes. Is aim assist better? Is it worse? Is it more like the open beta? I would love to know. The Battlefield developers did another dispersion tuning pass. Dispersion has been globally reduced slightly to reduce its impact on the experience. This means you'll have less spread across all ranges. Now, I'm kind of mixed on this change. Personally, I'm all in when they were actually fixing dispersion bugs. For example, when you would reach max spread just after you stopped sprinting, or your weapons would unintentionally hit max spread with some attachments you had equipped on them. But now they're actually touching spread as a mechanic as a whole, which means people are going to have more accurate weapons now on mid and long range without actually having to use burst fire and tap fire. This is maybe going to result in more beamy gameplay across ranges. I'm truly hoping this isn't going to happen because the game still doesn't really support such beamy gameplay, because the visibility is still a problem, the audio is still a problem, the map flow is still a problem, and there is still many angles to consider when you enter some points like, for example, Empire State and other maps which feature a lot of verticality. In my opinion, they need to be very careful when they touch spread, especially when you consider that some of the SMGs and the LMGs have very little spread, for example M250, MP5, well now they're gonna have even less spread in general to account for. I'm very curious to see how this is gonna play out, and if it plays out badly, then I'm hoping they're ready to revert it fast rather than let us play that for a month until phase 3. DMRs received some love this patch as well, reduced recoil and variation for LMR27, M39 and SVD for improved long-range reliability. This is great. DMRs obviously aren't that great in this game other than SVK, which 2 shots across all ranges. The other ones weren't so amazing because they did actually have a lot of recoil on top of the visual recoil as well. So with the global spread nerf and now them having some buffs, maybe they're gonna be more viable. I also just don't see the reason to really use designated marksman rifles when I can just use bolt action snipers which have auto rangefinder, which have sweet spots, which can deny resurrections when you headshot people, and which are generally just very easy to use. They have crazy velocity, no recoil, no drop. So I just don't see the reason to use DMRs when bolt actions are in the state they're currently in. How do you feel about that? Do you think DMRs are fine, or do you just think they're trash? Let me know. Another pretty big change that went a little bit under the radar is that you can now detonate certain friendly gadgets, and I'm really hoping those are anti-tank mines. Sometimes your teammates with the brains they have have in certain matches. For example, in Cairo, if you were attacking, your teammates are putting mines everywhere on Alpha when the enemy obviously has no vehicles, which means now the enemy engineers, which could be smart, now just have to shoot the mines when you're standing over them because you couldn't destroy them with your tank, which would limit you quite a bit with how much support you can really give with the infantry fighting vehicles if you cannot destroy your friendly mines, because you would just flat out get one shot if they would just shoot the mines you're standing close to. So this is definitely an indirect buff to vehicles, and the map flow should change now because you don't have to be so much careful anymore when you're driving over friendly mines. Just shoot them with your LMG and you can move forward. You can also use this to your advantage as an infantryman. If you see an enemy tank being close to your friendly mines, you can just shoot them now with your Magnum or something and deal high damage to enemy vehicles, which is great. I'm actually not sure why they even removed the ability to shoot friendly mines. I believe this was in Battlefield since forever, so I'm not sure why this was gone. I'm just very happy to see classic mechanics return. This is actually gonna increase the skill gap of the game, which is very nice. Some fixes have also arrived for the matchmaking of the game, fixed incomplete or incorrect round outcome data when joining mid-match, and the big important one, fixed matchmaking logic to prevent late stage match joins. This happens so often in solo queue. If you ever watched me when I was live streaming, I'm always joining matches where my teammates, for example, have 25 tickets left on Black Veil fields to capture 3 sectors against like 5 enemy vehicles. Like, it's just fucking ridiculous. So I'm hoping now as a solo queuer I'm gonna get more fresh matches. Of course, not everything can be a fresh match. I just want to have the same opportunity to play fresh Battlefield matches like what you can do when you play with your friends. When you play in a duo queue or a pre-made, you almost always get fresh matches. But as a solo queuer, you are just feeling for the people who either rage quitted or they left the match because they didn't get the vehicle they wanted to play, or they crashed, or whatever. Just sucks that you always get punished as a solo player. So hopefully this is gonna alleviate some of those problems. The new content which came with California Resistance is the new map called Eastwood, a map with the Southern California theme. Variations of this map will be available for all official modes. This is actually excellent, so that means that you will be able to play any game what you want on this map. For example, if you want to play Iberian Offensive, currently on the live client you can only play it in selected modes. I really hate that they're doing this with some maps. I want that all maps are available in all modes, and Eastwood is gonna be that map, which is amazing. The map itself, I have seen it, it looks very solid. I'm hoping it's gonna be the first kind of big to medium map that people are gonna enjoy in Battlefield 6. They also say that the conquest mode on this map will include tanks, helicopters, and the golf cart from the Battle Royale Radzig, which is nice. As you can see in Conquest, they also want it to be a big vehicle and infantry map, basically combined arms, which is what Battlefield is. Along with the map, we also received a new time-limited mode called Sabotage, a themed event mode focused on demolition and counterplay. I have to be honest, I believe that Battlefield 6 has already way too many game modes and is stretched so far across all these modes. The player base is stretched too thin, in my opinion. This is why some regions like Middle East, South Africa, Oceania, yes, hey, other regions, I am acknowledging you, are having a lot of problems with player retention. Every so often I get a DM on Twitter from people of those regions. Ace, can you talk a little bit about how those regions are getting filled with bots, even though there's like 300,000 people playing on Steam? Well, it is because there's too many game modes in Battlefield 6, guys. Everybody's stretched so thin across all these modes, as I have mentioned. They have to do something to reduce the amount of modes in Battlefield 6. Shoot me if you want, but I believe that Battlefield should just have 4 modes: Conquest, Operations, or Breakthrough, Team Deathmatch, because everybody loves some classic old TDM, and Rush. And in my opinion, all the other modes, including Radzig, can fuck right off. And you can quote me on that, I don't care. I'm tired of people gaslighting me and telling me that the Battle Royale and all these other modes haven't affected the multiplayer experience on Battlefield 6. It is a flat out lie. Those modes just existing, especially the Battle Royale, have already, when you think about it, affected the Battlefield 6 multiplayer experience from the inception. All those developers who have been developing these other modes could have instead been working on the base game. Maybe the maps would have been better. Maybe we wouldn't have so many bugs we have to wait a month and a half for them to be fixed. Perhaps they would never be present in the game if more manpower was included in the making of the base game. I mean, this is just business 101, right? The more people you have working on something, the better and faster it's gonna come out, and it's gonna be more polished. Sorry for the little rant there. I just had to really get that off my shoulders. The new weapons which arrived are the DB12 shotgun and M357 trait sidearm. This is a new revolver. I'm hoping the revolver is going to be really fun to use. I am enjoying the Magnum, so hopefully this is going to be some type of a Rex version of a revolver. New gauntlet mission type is also the rodeo. This mission provides multiple vehicles for players to fight over and battle with. Players earn bonus points for defeating enemies while inside a vehicle. New feature, this is very cool, battle pickups. These powerful weapons will be available in specific experiences and portal with limited ammunition, but pack enough enough firepower to help turn the tide of battle in your favor. To my understanding, these are the battle pickups from Battlefield 4, for example the USAS 12 frags you would receive on Locker, or the 50 kill sniper from Zavod, and I think it also existed on Hainan Resort and Siege of Shanghai. There was also a launcher you could use from Siege of Shanghai, who knows, but battle pickups are back in the game. I'm happy they're here because I think they were kind of cool in Battlefield 4. I want to see how they operate and work. As soon as I find one, I'll actually make a video about them. So yeah, that about sums it up. If you enjoyed watching this video, please consider leaving a like and a subscription for a small and a honest creator. I'll see you guys in the next Battlefield 6 video. I hope you will enjoy the new update. See you later. This is Ace signing out. Bye bye.